What you saying? What you saying? What you man saying? No, you man good?
Yeah.
I'm riding the storm, bro. That's all I'm doing. It's cold outside. It's about to snow.
This is
know?
this is the thing when it comes to doing the Friday shows. Up until this time yesterday, I was buzzing. We beat City. Ahmad's on fire. Obviously, I'm gutted to go out last night, and we'll touch on that in a few moments. Genuinely, I didn't want to go out of the Carabao Cup. I don't play it down. I don't try and pretend like it means nothing. However, I'm a bit like you last season, Don. I'm not going to lie. I listened to a lot of what you said last year, and we actually, although people think me and you disagree on loads of things, actually, we only disagree on a handful of things. We agreed on a lot when it came to Chelsea, to be fair. But I feel a bit like you did last year, and I can identify with it more now. I watched this again last night, and I'm thinking, I see the shape, I see the patterns, I see the idea. Just need better quality players. And as one of the elements of our titles yesterday, errors cost Man United again. And I do feel that the Forest game, as an example, and last night's game, it's errors. It's individual errors or players being poor at their job, as opposed to structural issues. Where when I look at Ten Hag, when I look back at Oli, when I look back to that second season where it all went wrong under Jose Mourinho, when I look back over the years, that was just a system, had holes in it everywhere, and I couldn't work it out. So I'm not happy to go out ever, and this always triggers rivals. But I'm actually still really encouraged after last night. I'm not feeling dejected per se, if that makes sense. I'm encouraged. I'm encouraged. Yeah, but of course, gutted to go out.
Yeah. What you're gonna get that from rivals or Terry, innit? I was getting it all last season. You know what I mean? That's why they kept calling me, "Oh, you're just positive. You're just optimistic." Because when they see your club crashing out like this, but you can look at the bigger picture of what you're trying to do, right? Rivals don't want to see that, bro. Rivals just want you to suffer and just see doom and gloom, right? But me, I can see what's going on at United, bro. These guys will be back, yeah? So you don't enjoy your laughs right now because they will be back, yeah? Ineos, what's his name? Amrim's not a joke, man. The fact that they got rid of Dan Ashworth quickly is very good because United are not used to rectifying mistakes that quickly. They just kept letting, what's that guy? Is it Myrtle? Is it Myrtle or the other one? What was the other one called?
It was, no, it was Ed Woodward first.
Woodward. They kept letting, Myrtle, Woodward, all of them. That little clique, the little banker clique, right? They kept letting man make mistake after mistake after mistake and not doing anything about it. Whereas with Ashworth, it's like, you're not good enough. Cool, you're gone. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter if we try to chase you for 5 months or whatever. You're gone, bro. You know what I'm saying? So all these things that I'm seeing United doing right now, yes, they've made some mistakes, but they have also done some good things, right? A lot of these players in the summer, especially the attack, they're not going to be here, bro, right? They can just go sign Kulusevski. They can just go sign Cunha. They can go sign all these players that can play in those positions because they're getting into the final third. It's just that bit of quality that they're missing right now. You know what I mean? So I'm shameless. I'm going to mock you, man, for now because I can, innit? You know what I'm saying? But people, if you think United are dead, bro, it's not that. They're going to come back. They are going to.
Very quickly before I go to you, Stav, I wanted to. The only real difference between what you were saying last year and what I'm seeing now is your view is very much we've got a lot of the players already. The manager's system's a problem. Where with us, it's we need better players, but the system looks right. And yes, you're correct in the attack. We just can't seem to click consistently enough as a group. I also think as well between goalkeepers and predominantly Lisandro Martinez. If we've been really honest, Lisandro Martinez and our goalkeepers in the last 2 or 3 games have been issues for us. And that's just, I mean, the goalie yesterday, I know it triggered a lot of people when I said it. That contract should have gone last night. I mean, that conceding from a corner, I can't even explain how unacceptable that is. It's if that happens at Sunday league level, your goalie gets absolutely rinsed for it. To happen at professional level, and by the way, it wasn't even that good a cross. That ball went so high in the air, it's ridiculous. But yeah, look, errors and more quality in that attack are going to be massively important for us over the next 2 to 3 windows, I think.
No, 100. What do you want to see happen in January, Staffy, man? Do you think Ineos are going to do anything, bro?
I don't know how much we can do in January because I always say I don't know the logistical part of us getting deals done. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes there's financial reasons why you can't get a certain deal done until the summer. So I don't know about that. But I looked at us yesterday and listen, we lost and I didn't care. I said before the game I don't care if we lose today, and I generally wasn't that upset when we lost. I was a little bit annoyed with the way we lost because it's stupid, but the idea of being at the Carabao Cup, excuse me, I'm not really that upset about it. The manager keeps banging on the amount of games we're playing in a short time and the lack of time on the training ground that is with these players. He spoke about that after the game as well. He said he barely gets time to train with these players, and you can see a lot of errors from them because he doesn't actually get a lot of time, as I said, to spend these players spending time recovering in training. So I don't care about being in one less competition. But to answer your question, I was honest. I said this on my watch along yesterday. I said United's issue right now has never been easier. Excuse me. United's issue now has never been easier. We have the easiest fix that we've had over the last, I don't know how many years. Because over the last few years, we had a combination of bad players and a bad manager. Whereas right now, I look at us, all our the only fix that we need is better quality in certain positions. And I know it sounds too simple. Obviously, the process of buying players that could be a little bit tricky, but when you have a manager that is setting up the team correctly, and the team look, it doesn't necessarily the players don't necessarily look good individually because of their own mistakes. But you're setting up well. You're not conceding a lot of chances. You're keeping the ball. You're keeping possession. All that stuff. You're getting into the right areas, like you said, to score goals. All that stuff. Everything that I've seen from United over the last few games shows me a very well coached team. The things that a manager doesn't coach is the simple mistakes that we make. The manager is not going to coach Lisandro Martinez to kick the ball out instead of flicking it with the outside of the boot into Kulusevski. The manager is not going to coach the goalkeeper to punch a ball or when he saves the ball and he parries it, don't parry it into the middle, parry it to the side. Same thing as the Forest game, these individual mistakes. Even going forward, the manager is not going to teach you how to be a good one-on-one wing back. Dalot yesterday, the amount of one-on-ones that he got with Pedro Porro, and he couldn't get no change off him. The manager can't teach you that. What the manager could do is set you up good as a team to make you look good, to reach you in certain areas into final third where you can find yourself with scoring opportunities. If you're not good enough to do that, the manager can't teach you that. These players, we're talking about players that are 24, 25, 26, 27-year-old. We're not talking about kids that you're teaching how to kick a ball and pass a ball and all that stuff at an academy age. So I look at this right now. I'm like, you know what? Yesterday, I'm looking at it as an example to make it more precise. If Dalot's not playing left wing back and you have someone in that position, let's say, I don't know, we have a Kvaratskhelia or we have a
Lookman.
Or we have a Cunha in these one-on-ones with Pedro Porro.
Kulu, man. Kulu link up against Staffy, bro. Bring Kulu.
Bro, I swear I said I want Kulu. I've been saying it for weeks now. He's been outstanding this season. Kulu. Bro, if we have Kulu in this team yesterday, would we lose? Probably not. We'd probably win. If we have Solanke and we don't have
really
Poland,
funny, actually. I was saying the exact same thing in the game. I was watching it. First half, I sat here. Sometimes I wish I did watch alongs just so people could hear my thoughts during games. But I was like, if we had Kulusevski in our team in the first half, I think we go in winning, irrespective of the goal that's Tottenham scored. No, I agree. I agree completely.
Yeah, but you take players from there anyway. Berbatov, you've got Carrick as well. You know what I'm saying? Any other players that you love taking from there?
I would 100% go for him. But the point is not just to highlight Kulusevski. It's just to highlight that there is better individuals that if they were in these positions, they would score. We had 3 cutbacks going to Eriksen yesterday from Dalot. 3 exact same cutbacks. Ball into Dalot. Dalot cuts it back with his left to the edge of the box. Eriksen comes in, hits it with his left. That shows me if we can get in that position 3 times and a half with the same exact play, that's what people remember when people were complaining about patterns of play under Ten Hag. That is a pattern of play. So it happened 3 times. Why on the 3 times we didn't convert it? Because Eriksen, as much as I like him, he just couldn't finish these chances. 3 times he hits it with his left, middle of the goal, it hits a defender, bounces out. On 3 times, you couldn't pick one of the sides, Eriksen. That's an individual deficiency. That is not on the manager. The manager managed to coach a team to reach that scoring position 3 times and a half. There was, and I'm not even trying to pile on Rasmus. How many times did we cross the ball into the back post yesterday, and Rasmus isn't there? A manager is not really going to teach you at this age to make these runs.
Bro,
if Solanke as an example, and Terry, the reason I'm bringing up Solanke is because a year ago, I remember when I was complaining about Rasmus, you guys told me name replacements, and Solanke was one of the names I named, and I got laughed at. Yesterday, he's cooking Martinez one-on-one, And he would be scoring these goals. He would be in these positions.
I have to say,
Højlund wasn't in.
What you said about Solanke, that's an L for me on that one, and I got it wrong. Equally, last night, I'm someone that will defend Højlund when there isn't chances created for him. But yesterday, there was 2 brilliant balls played to the back post for him, and another one played by Bruno, the back post for Eriksen. And Eriksen stuttered his run and didn't get there in time, but the ball was perfect. And Højlund made runs to the near post and not the back post and got it wrong. That's why, yesterday was one of those games where I looked at, and by the way, all 3 of those chances that Bruno Fernandes created don't show up as stats as chances created because nobody connected with them at the end. But for me, they are bona fide big chances. Statistically, they won't count, but for me, they're big chances created and we did nothing with it. And what I hope happens, now this is where the bitter rivals will say it's hopium, and it is. What I'm hoping is that between Amorim, between Wilcock and Barada, they're looking at this and saying there's a certain number of they're almost doing a greasy Don here. There's a certain number of strikes they have. They have a strike system. Do you know what? We keep telling him about making this run and he isn't doing it. We keep telling him this is what we need to see from them. Whatever it may be, there might be a list of things that they sort of standards or attributes that they would look for when they're scouting a player that you obviously need your player to do on the pitch. And I hope that if it isn't happening, it's a case of it doesn't matter if you do all these other things well. If you're not doing these certain non-negotiables on the football pitch, you're not part of what we want, because we coached the win yesterday and we created the opportunities for a win. And I'm taking nothing away from Tottenham. They scored their goals. But in that first half, I didn't expect us to have that much openings and that many spaces and get the balls into those areas. I thought we might be.
You didn't expect it against Tottenham?
No, I didn't, because I just. And what I mean by that is, we've played three big teams in the sense of the members of the top 6 since Amorim has been here. And against City, we started off by absorbing the pressure and kind of trying to counter. As the second half grew, we started dominating more of the ball. Against Arsenal, we had a lot of possession in our own half, but we were trying to absorb them and trying to break. It didn't work for us. I wasn't sure if we were going to have that much of the ball last night. And what I saw yesterday in terms of the structure of the team is they're starting to learn what to do in terms of where to stand, where to be, where to move, so we can keep possession and work the ball to the edge of the box. But it was the finishing of Eriksen and the movement of Eriksen and Højlund that bothered me. And then you've got Antony. And a few people will say, well, the manager shouldn't have picked him. Now, the manager has to give these players opportunities because he has to keep the dressing room on side. And I know people won't like to hear this, but it's a case of, do you know what, Antony? You've done well coming on the sub, and he has. You're getting a chance in that 10 role tonight that I know you want to play. Go out there and show us what you're made of. When he has a game like last night, when it comes to January, if he gets sold, the summer, if he gets sold, there can be no complaints. He's been given an opportunity. We also need to rotate. We can't keep playing the same players, especially through Christmas, every 3 to 4 days. They're going to end up, and this is where I love what Amorim's done, because our previous couple of managers just run our players into the ground. If Ten Hag was still here, Mainu would have played almost every single match in the last month, and his body would be almost ready to break down. And in fairness, Mainu's probably not being used anywhere near as much as I expected him to be used, and I'm not even worried about it. For me, I think he's going to be able to play in this system, and he's proved it. I almost feel like until we've tried certain players and got through this really tough Christmas period, I'd rather not see him run into the ground because of other people's mistakes. I'd rather see him kind of used sparingly. But yeah, I agree with you a lot. Last night was such a weird game. We went out, so I'm gutted. The mistakes pissed me off. But for me, there's so much to be encouraged about. But you've just got to be patient with it. There is something here genuinely to work on. And what makes me more excited, it isn't what I'm seeing on the pitch. It's what I know is happening off the pitch. And I'm not, listen, there's some bad things Ineos are doing. I don't like the bonuses they're taking away from people. I don't like what they've done with the stewards this last week. That sort of stuff leaves a bitter taste in my mouth. What they're doing in terms of the footballing side of the club is very, very good indeed. Very, very good indeed. And that's why I'm more encouraged about the Amorim situation, is because I know we're behaving differently at board level. If it was still Woodward, still John Myrtle, still the Glazers controlling it, it wouldn't matter that I'm seeing this now on the pitch, because I know eventually they're going to end up ruining it. So, yeah, I'm encouraged. But how do